Hi, this is Mr. Tipton, and today we are looking at, we're looking at the associative, commutative, and distributive property, but this time we're going to look at those using rational numbers. Last time we looked at integers, and today we just need to understand that the properties are still going to work even though we have fractions and decimals that we're working with. Properties, again, are statements about numbers that are true for all numbers. And just because we're using fractions and decimals, that's not going to change that. Alright, the first one we're looking at is the associative property. And remember, that has to deal with the way numbers are grouped. Changing the grouping will not change the sum or the product. Alright, all of these numbers here in my example problem are in the same order, 3.4, 1/5, 0.9 or 9/10. Both sides, they're in the same order. It's just the grouping that has changed. On the left side, if I combine 1/5 with 0.9, of course you can put that in your calculator now and you'd come up with 3.4 plus, and then this part in parentheses here is 1.1. 3.4 plus 1.1 gives us 4.5. Alright, on the right side, the grouping's different. We do 3.4 plus 1/5 first because it's in parentheses. Throw it in your calculator and you get 3.6. Oops, there we go, we did that first. 3.6 plus 0.9. Either way, we get 4.5, 4.5, 4 5/10. Changing the grouping will not change the sum, that's an addition problem, and it won't change the product, that's a multiplication problem. Next we will look at the commutative property. Commutative property has to do with the order of the numbers in the problem. Changing the order will not change the sum, and it will not change the product. It would change the difference or the quotient. Subtraction and division are not commutative. Again, throwing this in your calculator, -2/3 times 3.86, I believe is -2.573 repeating. And on the other side, it's the same two numbers. The same two numbers being multiplied is going to give us the same answer. Changing the order does not change the answer. Works with fractions and decimals too. Last one is the distributive property. Remember, anytime we have a number that is being multiplied by a group of parentheses that have more than one thing in them, we can distribute. The 0.3 will take it times the 1/4 and times the -2/6. So when I'm showing my work, it would look like this. We'd have 0.3 times 1/4 and 0.3 times 2.6. Again, throw it in your calculator. 3/10 times 1/4 is 0.075. And oh, sorry, this should have been a -2/6 because there's a negative sign on the left here. And then 0.3 times -2.6. Throw it in your calculator, but you know the answer is going to be negative because the signs are different. And we get -0.78. Combine those, and we end up with a -0.705. Okay, the distributive property works the same way as it always has. We've just got a little bit uglier numbers here to work with, the decimals and the fractions. But you're using your calculator, so as long as you can hit the buttons right, you should come out okay. Make sure these notes are done. Write down any questions that you have, and we'll see you soon.